welcome back to Wild Wine Life. It is exciting. This is something that has been many years in the making. We have the CEO from a wonderful Piedmontese winery of La Scolca, Miss Chiara Soldati. I hope I said it correctly. The most elegant,
Yes.
talented, educated, brilliant woman that if you're going to be a woman in the wine industry, she is a person to look up to. You've been running the winery since 1997. You're the fourth generation to take over. You're an activist in the Donna de Vino Association working to promote women's rights in the agricultural sector. You've also been appointed as one of 25 Cavalieri di Lavoro, which is the Knights
Night of
of
Merit.
Merit for Labor. I hope I'm not butchering Italian too much. Your son Fernando has been named successor in the fifth generation. The winery was founded by your great-grandfather, your great-grandfather
Yes,
in
correct.
1919. You graduated from the University of Genoa, and the winery is located in the heart of the Roberto di Gavi. The estate is set in a terroir where Cortese grape achieves its finest expression. Did I get anything wrong? Did I get it right this time?
Yes, everything is perfect. You studied very well about La Scolca.
Well, the more I learned about you, the more telling your story as a wine rep and then interviewing you, two different things. And it was just so fascinating. I think especially since now I have a daughter of my own, she can look to people like you as look at what I can achieve if I study hard, work hard in life. I mean, it's not easy when you took over in the wine industry to be a woman running things. I mean, you've mentioned in previous interviews that things have changed, but I mean, did you kind of feel a little bit of a push when you first took over in 97?
Well, I believe that in our industry, when we born in this industry, when we decide to follow this passion, is more than a business. Is really a mindset. Is lifestyle. It happened with me more than 30 years ago, and now it's happening with my son Ferdinando. Because we born and we grow with the smell of mustard. We grow looking the circle of the life of vineyards, and then we appreciate the culture behind our labels, the story, and we are more than a promoter of our land. We are ambassador of the Italian lifestyle. For this reason, everyone are never tired, and we are always passionate. And today, I am in the airport, and I'm coming back home, and our life is in the countryside, working in the industry, but also working a lot in the market, because the priority is, before to sell the wine, is to communicate the value of our culture, and now more than in the past. And I believe that as mother, I really understood the value of education in the world of wine, the moderation of consumption, the message about the Mediterranean diet, and everything that is around the wine. So this is more than a production. This is more than a business. It's something that we love to share, like a glass of wine. You can't drink alone. You drink with friends, with your sweetheart, and you share many emotions. My uncle, Mario Soldati, was a very famous writer in Italy, and also a writer in US. And he said in the 70s that the wine is the poetry of the heart.
I always say that we don't just sell a food product, we sell a lifestyle, something that's very communal, that we remember the discussion in the fond times when we're sharing that bottle of Gavi Die Gavi with our friends over a meal or just on the back patio somewhere.
It is correct.
What what would you say has been the biggest challenge you faced versus previous generations at La Scoca?
Well, every new generation approach different challenges. My father started after a little bit more after the Second World War. Uh, I started in the 90s, and 90s was the moment with the big globalization, new communication, because before we was uh, well writing with letters or fax,
Yeah.
and then we started with emails, and everything changed so much, and the globalization changed also the approach of the wine consumption, approaching to new food pairing, visiting new markets, and now we are approaching a new era for the wine. Probably the new era will be a mix between my father time and my time. We are discovering a different way to approach the wine consumption slowly, with a different timing. We're loving to spend time at home, cooking with friends, and giving more value to what we are drinking. People are more trained, are studying more about the territory. We are able to visit different countries. And so this is a new discover. And my challenge now is to train the new generations, because the generation now needs to be trained about sustainability, moderation of consumption, and discovering more and more the stories behind every bottle. So this is the new chapter for a new future.
You mentioned in a previous interview you love visiting. You're in over 50 countries. I'm sure it's increased since I've done my research, but you like to go to places. You mentioned Memphis and other places around the United States, not just visiting a nation's capital. In the United States, Italian restaurants aren't just one region, it's multiple regions when you go in. Um, what has been one of the most interesting American Italian food pairings with La Scocca that you've encountered? And has there been an American food dish that's really impressed you?
Well, now we are exporting 70 countries. So my
Wow.
overview is more open, including Africa and many other countries. Well, what I love in the American culture, I love the seafood. So in Connecticut, in Newport, in Hamptons, I love the seafood, the crab, lobster roll, or simply a risotto with seafood and La Scolca Black Label.
You need to visit. Have you visited New Orleans? That's a wonderful
Sure.
seafood.
Yes, yes, I visited, and I really was impressed by the happiness in the city, the multicultural flavor of the city. I remember the city in many movies of my childhood. It was a great surprise to listen in the street, the music. The jazz. It was really amazing. It's very sweet and warm city and the country.
It has a huge Italian population down there. St. Joseph's Day is just as big as the Irish celebrate St. Patrick's Day. I truly enjoyed my 4 years living there. Um,
Yes, but traveling in US, I always appreciate something different in every country because every country maintain a different personality, different concept. I love this diversity. It is always very, very nice to travel in the United States. I travel 4 or 5 times every year. I
oh,
visited quite all the states, just some states in the Midwest I missed, but I have time to visit.
we have really good barbecue here in the Midwest,
I know.
and we don't use it. what What is the most important thing that you would like your son to pass that you wish to pass on to Fernando when he's taking the winery forward someday?
Well, the secret of the success, in my opinion, is to be curious, to be courageous, to sacrifice, well, time working, a strong commitment, and to be very, very patient and curious because we have to never stop to be curious, to discover what we can find behind the corner, and never, never tired to do better. I'm 51. I always believed that life is like a stairs, and we have to have one step after the other, and only in this way we can enjoy the journey, and we can do something great in our life and leave a story and leave a memory for the next generation and an example.
Hmm. It's, you're a steward or a caretaker of the land and the winery, not necessarily an owner in some ways because you're wanting to pass it for something to create something better for the next generation. Is it
Well,
in that kind of mindset?
in our company, we have four
Hmm.
sellers, and every generation created the new seller for the next one.
Oh,
Yes. So I created in 2018 the new seller just to welcome my son in the company. And he arrived in the company in 2021.
wow. What is your earliest, fondest memory of growing up and being at the winery?
Well, the best memory is the time when I tasted the wine in the cellar with my father after the harvest, and
Mhm.
before the harvest, looking the growing of the plants every season, and the vineyards represent the circle of life, and every year we have the same circle, but every year we have something different, and we love to follow this incredible life of the vineyards. I harvesting now 60 years old plants that my father planted 60 years old. And now I planted the new vineyards that will be the vineyards that my son will harvest in the future. And I have the vineyards that was planted when I started to work in La Scolca. So we have memories. We have memories in the wine. We have memories in our estate, and this is the value we produce with the sustainability rules, just to maintain this heritage generation after generation.
What were There's a book called War and Wine that talked about the German occupation of France and how different winery families dealt with it. And I've found it interesting when talking to different European winery families. Each one has a unique, interesting story about how their family dealt with the war period. Is there any stories that kind of stick out that your grandparents kind of told you about during World War II?
Well, I remember when my father said me that our vineyards could be considered like soldiers that remain there in the property, taking care about our land also during the war. My family name is Soldati, soldier. And we believe that we have to be strong to overcome every type of situation and every type of moment, never give up and be strong and well, hoping in the future, working for a better future.
Okay. Do you have a favorite wild game dish uh, that you enjoy with La Scoca?
Well,
Whether
I have
it's
many. I have many. Well, rabbit is my favorite, or mushroom, remaining in the typical countryside recipe, or seafood like a risotto with the frutti di mare or linguine with clams.
Hmm. I thought what was really interesting is how you have taken marketing to a whole new level at La Scoca. Your chef, they can people can book your chef at a plane, on a yacht. They can dine in a vineyard. What created that? Where did you get that inspiration from to come up with that idea? I mean, that is taking wine tasting to a whole new level, and I thought that was
Well,
really interesting.
the secret of our wines is that the we produce very pure, healthy, fresh, clean wine, very elegant with a good body balance. For this reason, we can appreciate a glass of La Scolca in Manhattan, like in Miami on the beach or on the boat in the Caribbean, because this minerality, this fresh tasting, is perfect in different situation, different occasion, with so many different food pairing. This is the secret. We are local, very local, with authenticity, identity, but we are so international and we can find the territory, our terroir, also so far away from Gavi.
Hmm.
This is a message in the bottle.
I've always enjoyed that message in a bottle. Two of my favorite things for years was when someone would say, "Send me a case of La Scoca," or "I want to sample La Scoca." So it was always a good day when I would have La Scoca in my bag or shipping a case of it somewhere. What I've noticed that there's you have a long list of politicians, a pope, quite a few celebrities that
Mm.
really enjoy La Scoca, such as Elton John. You mentioned Sting coming up and giving you a hug at a tasting. Um, what celebrity has the most impressive palate, in your opinion, that you've encountered? Politician, celeb, that you said, "Wow, you really know wine," or your palate really knows how to pick up the flavors.
Well, I was really surprised last February when I was invited by His Majesty King Charles in Hygro for a very special dinner, only 40 guests from Italy. And he was really interested and passionate about the wine. And I was really impressed by his knowledge. Other time, always in UK, I met in person the Oscar winner Colin Firth, and I
Mhm.
really was surprised about his um, nice feeling with the flavor, with the tasting, and also he is a so kind person, uh, so kind and so passionate about sustainability and the the real good approach to the healthiness of the world. So I'm very lucky because with my work I can meet incredible people, and like I say, the good wines, are speaking the language of all the world. We create a bridge between culture and between people.
So here's what inspired you to enter the sparkling wine world?
Well, my father, sorry, I approach to the body. My
Okay.
father started to produce sparkling in the 70s, and he was really very modern in this idea because he decided to start the production of 100% Cortese grape, Metodo Classico Cortese sparkling, with the 5 years on the lease, and now we are producing a sparkling of 12 years on the lease. So a special selection.
Um, how can someone order your wines beyond what's available, let's say, in the United States in a particular market? Can they order directly from the winery and have things shipped? And how do they find you on social media?
Well, in the United States, you can order in Total Wine or wine.com, or for special production that are not in the US market, obviously, you can order also in our wine shop online.
Okay, and how can people follow you on social media?
Oh, thank you so much.
No, can they follow you on Facebook or are you under just La Scolca, Chiara Soldati on Facebook? What are your social? How do they follow? Are you on
La
which?
Scolca and Chiara Soldati. We have an official one, La Scolca, and La Scolca by Chiara Soldati is the backstage of La Scolca. So more personal approach to the storytelling of La Scolca, and I do personally.
Well, this has been, you're about to board, and I just want to show everybody. I'm very much enjoying my La Scolca Gavi Die Gavi 2021 that you sent me. It is so wonderful. I hope
Thank
you have a
you.
safe and wonderful trip and that you will
Thank you.
join us again. I'm Ray. Don't forget to live the dream, and here's to living the wild wine life.
Thank you. Bye. See
Thank
you in
you.
the United States. Bye bye.